Ainsley Earhardt, a 1995 graduate of Spring Valley High School in Richland District Two, is co-host of Fox and Friends on Fox News Channel, FNC. After receiving a Bachelor of Arts degree in journalism from the University of South Carolina in 1999, she joined WLTX News 19 as a reporter and morning anchor. As anchor for the #1 rated morning and noon shows for WLTX, she was voted Best Personality of the Year by Columbia Metropolitan Magazine. After a short stint as an anchor and reporter for KENS5 TV in San Antonio, she joined FNC as a reporter in 2007. In her work at FNC, she covered many high-profile news stories, including the arrest of kidnapper Ariel Castro in Cleveland, Ohio, the fatal 2013 EF5 tornado in Moore, Oklahoma, the death of actor James Gandolfini, the 2010 Deepwater Horizon oil spill, and the 8.0 magnitude earthquake in China. She also provided live coverage of Pope Francis's most recent visit to New York City, the shooting at Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina, and the Fort Hood military base massacre. Ms. Earhardt previously served as co-host of FNC's early morning wake-up program, Fox and Friends First, from 2013 until joining Fox and Friends as co-host in 2016. Currently on track to have its highest-rated year in history, Fox and Friends provides viewers with the latest on daily headlines across news, sports, politics, and entertainment. As co-host, she sat down for exclusive interviews with former President Donald Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, and Vice President Mike Pence. In addition to her role on Fox and Friends, Ms. Earhardt appears across FNC's on-demand subscription-based streaming service, Fox Nation, as co-host of Fox and Friends After the Show and host of Ainsley's Bible Study. In 2007, she received the University of South Carolina's Young Alumni Award and was named the School of Journalism and Mass Communications Outstanding Young Alumni. Besides an accomplished career as a journalist, Ms. Earhardt is also a successful children's book author. Her first book, Take Heart, My Child, A Mother's Dream, sold out a week and a half following the release. Her follow-up book, Through Your Eyes, My Child's Gift to Me, won a 2018 Christopher Award, which celebrates media that affirm the highest values of the human spirit.
Please welcome my fellow South Carolina High School graduate, Ms. Ainsley Earhardt.
Edward R. Murrow right here. Two. I'm proud of you. This is not easy getting up here. We can talk in front of a camera and you don't think about the people that are watching, but to do it and actually see the crowd, it's different. Sean Hannity's a pro at it, you're a pro at it, but this is not as easy for me. My daughter wanted to come up with me, so I hope you don't mind. We kind of come as a pair. But I just wanted to thank the South Carolina Association of School Administrators. It is so good to be home. It's always good to be home. I love New York, but this is where I was raised, and it really changed my life in so many ways. And Mom and Dad are here, they're over there, and my whole family's here, and I'll talk about them in a minute. But my faith is so important to me, and I've been to a million churches in South Carolina, and it just is the core of who I am. And my parents raised me in church, and you know, in South Carolina, we go every Sunday. In New York, they have soccer games at 8 a.m. on Sundays. And so it's completely different. And maybe it's that way now in South Carolina, but we find a way to be there. And throughout COVID, we were watching online, weren't we, Hayden? We were watching Seacoast Church in Mount Pleasant, where Sean and I will be on Sunday with my sister Elise. But my faith is everything to me. And when my life changed at the University of South Carolina because of my faith, God just blessed me in so many ways. And I wanted to be on stage, and Chadwick, God bless him, God rest his soul. I love that his faith was so strong. And we'll all be with him hopefully one day. And my faith is just the core of who I am. And when I changed my life, when God changed my life, when Jesus changed my life, then he propelled me to just measures beyond I could ever imagine. And for the young people in the room, it is everything. It will guide you and it will steer you in the right direction. And that led me to New York. It led me eventually to Sean. It led me to have this precious thing who I prayed for so long. And I'm just grateful to him. So I wanted to give him the glory first. But I was talking to Jane Suggs, who's in the room. Jane's back here. Jane and Tommy. Tommy's the voice of the Gamecocks, as you know. And they're dear friends of our family and just wonderful people. And we were talking about what I would say tonight. And Jane said, Jane and Tommy's children went to Creighton and to AC Flora. And she said, the school is no stronger than its principal, superintendent, and administration. She said, a great administration leads to a great school, and that is so true. And I saw this firsthand in Richland, too. I'm a product of Richland, too. We were Spartanburg, then Charlotte for a year, and then fourth grade on in Richland, too. And Mom was a school teacher for 33 years at Anna Boyd Child Development Center. And she was Teacher of the Year. She was nationally board certified, taught for 33 years. And my mom's over there. And I'll tell you, my mom didn't get to take us to school every morning because she had to be at work at 7:30. She came home and she was reading the newspaper, helping us with homework, cooking for our whole family. We always had dinner together as a family. And she just provided for us and took care of us. Dad was working sometimes, 2 or 3 jobs. He gave up his job as a head coach, as the head basketball coach at Wofford, to make a little bit more money to put all 3 of us through school because he put himself through school. So I'm so grateful for that. And Dad said to me, Ainsley, you're not going to make any money in journalism. You need to pick another profession. And I make enough to survive in New York, and I'm grateful and to be able to have a child, but that took a long time. But Dad, I proved you wrong. I love you. So I went to Windsor and Earhardt and Spring Valley High School, and today I'm walking around the room, and Miss Washington, where's Miss Washington? She stands up, she says, Ainsley, do you remember me? I said, oh my gosh, Miss Washington, you were my 6th grade math teacher at Earhardt, and then she became the deputy superintendent under John Hudgens, and then she is now on the school board for 8 years, and I just love you. Where's Miss Washington? Well, I can't see you, but she's here. Over here. I love you so much. And she's always supported my mom. My mom, unfortunately, had a stroke 4 years ago and is in a wheelchair. And she is just loved and cherished and is the happiest person in the world. And a diabetic, dialysis. She's been through it all. And my dad and Maggie, her caretaker, do everything for her. And we are so grateful. I love you so much, Mom. You just keep pushing through and you fight hard. And you're amazing. So my sister is a teacher in Mount Pleasant. Elise is right here. She's taught there for 24 years and devotes her life to her Aunt Lacey, devotes her life to those children. Thank you, Elise, for changing the lives of those kids, and you know the impact you have on them. We tell you all the time. You are making such a difference because I have a little one, and you teach about the same age, and without our teachers teaching sight words and helping us to teach them to read, my goodness, I didn't even remember memorizing sight words. That's where we are right now every night. Holy cow. It's a lot, right? I did want to mention how our principals and our administrators mean the world to us. Sandy Euster was my mom's principal, and I don't know if y'all know her, but she taught in Richland Two. She was principal at Richland Two, and she was with Mom all the way through. And when we would call Mom and say, when the nurse would call Mom and say, Ainsley's sick, you need to come pick her up, Sandy Euster would let Mom leave her classroom and come pick me up. And Sandy was so supportive of my mom. My mom just said, oh, she is a precious lady. I just love her all the time. Never a negative word about Sandy Euster. And John Hudgens was our superintendent for most of my elementary, middle, and high school career, for Mom's career. And then John Hefner was the superintendent after John Hudgens left. So I love you both. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for allowing my family to sit at your table tonight. Y'all are just, I love South Carolina because we just give and give and give, and we take care of each other and we support one another. And we had so many people call and say, Ainsley's whole family's coming. I have 4 seats open at my table. I have 2. Who wants these seats? And that just means so much to me because we're all one big family and everyone knows everyone in South Carolina. And I think I might be the only one that left South Carolina. And hopefully Sean will be back one day, right? I did want to say, let me make sure USC. USC changed my life. Y'all heard that. And the Dean Reichert is the dean of, we called it the J School, Journalism, Mass Communications. It's gone through so many different names, but it's the journalism school to me. And we were in the old Coliseum, and now we have this beautiful facility. And Dean Reichert, please stand up, because that school just changed my life in a major way. That was my first real job. He's the dean of the journalism school. And Elaine Taylor is with them. Elaine and I were in school together, and now she works for the journalism school, and I love her and her husband and her 3 children. And then Van Cornegie was a professor there, and now he is on staff there and just the longest-serving professor in the journalism school. Is that right? You've been there the longest. God bless you. Well, you still look good and you're amazing, so thank you for what you do. I did want to thank Sean Hannity, who is, Sean and I are not very public about our lives because everything is out in the press and very public. So, but Sean is my date tonight, and Sean never forgot where he came from. And Mom was a prison guard, Dad was a dishwasher, painted a waiter, painted fences. Sean did the same thing, and Sean didn't come from much, but a really strong, loving family full of faith. And Sean, yesterday, celebrated the longest-running cable news primetime host. 25 years, 6 months, and 15 days. 1 day more than Larry King. And that was yesterday. And he took off tonight to be here. Sean, will you stand up? Stand up, Sean. You might not agree with his politics, but I'll tell you, he has a heart of gold. My whole family will vouch for that. Yes.
We love South Carolina.
But Sean has, thank you, baby, that was wonderful. Sean has a heart of gold and is the most generous man, and has where do I even begin? Thank you. Thank you for loving me and my family and my brothers and sisters, and Darcy and Trent. My brother's right behind you, sitting with my sister, and they have two twin boys at Hammond, and they have a boy, Banks, who was just born a year and a few months ago. And so I have 3 nephews. Hayden has 3 cousins, and they will grow up in Columbia, and they will be products of schools here, and they're the cutest things in the world. I love both of y'all. Elise and Trent and Darcy, you're like a sister to us too. We've had laughs and fun and joy. We make fun of each other, but we are just solid, and we love the Gamecocks. Let me see, just a few more, and I'll be quiet. I'm sorry. Hayden, you're so smart, and I am so proud of you, and I'm glad that you love South Carolina. Mom and Dad, Mom went to Greenville High School, Dad went to Columbia High School, and Maggie, I mentioned her. Let me make sure. My Aunt Lynn and Robert, they are sitting with Shane and Emily Beamer. That is the coolest seat in the house, so thank y'all. And I said, Sean, what should I say to Beamer? And he said, tell him we love him, we're praying for the team, and we hope for a national championship. A lot of pressure. Sorry, Emily. My Aunt Linda, where's my Aunt Linda? Over here. Linda was married to my dad's brother, Griff, who played baseball at South Carolina. He was a great athlete with my dad, and we lost him to cancer probably about 10 years ago. Linda's a great athlete, and we just love her, and she's like a second mom to me, as well as my Aunt Lynn. And Jeannie Saunders, teacher in District 2, and we live across the street from her, and Jeannie, she wasn't teaching at the time, and she would bring me my lunch when I forgot my lunch, because Mom was at Anna Boyd. So I would call Jeannie and say, will you bring me lunch? And Jeannie would bring me like Chick-fil-A or McDonald's, so that wasn't so bad. Sherry, my aunt's friend, is here too, so I just love y'all. I'm sorry I'm taking too much time. I did want to thank Beth and Hannah and the administrators in South Carolina, and Molly Spearman, who we adore as a family. So God bless you all. Sorry I took too long, but I just want to tell you I am so grateful, and this is probably the last or the only opportunity I've had to just thank South Carolina teachers and the influence you've made. And Molly, like you, I can remember every single teacher I've ever had. And a lot of people, you say, I think South Carolinians can remember that, but in New York, we were talking about this with some of my friends, like, I don't remember who my first grade teacher was, my second grade. I remember them all. They all influenced me, and they were all wonderful. Some of them were harder than others, but I love them. God bless you. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you.